Welcome again to another installment of Unveiling Africa, one handsome face at a time. We aim to bring the very best of Africa to you, and in so doing, we bring our talents, our guests of tremendous expectations and accomplishments to give us a background of what they do, how they do what they do, and how they've arrived at this moment in time. Most of my guests are from Africa or from the Caribbean, and we appreciate and applaud them for their successes. One such person today is Dr. George Onuorah. I'm going to welcome him to the show. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you.
Nice again.
Thank you.
Last week, we were out in Central Park doing what we do best, bringing the very best to you. And it was with Dr. George Onuorah. He told us a little bit about the charitable organization he's a partner with, or he works hand in hand with the owner or the CEO. And he told us a lot about what they do for Africa, especially Nigeria, where he comes from. He's going to introduce himself and tell us where he comes from again, and also tell us how When in Need was founded. Welcome, Doctor, again.
Thank you. Thank you.
So tell us where you're from, who you are, and where you're from.
Okay, thank you for the generous introduction. My name is Dr. George Onuorah, the media director for the When in Need Foundation.
Okay.
But like you said, I'm originally from Nigeria, even though a United States citizen. Just to make a long story short, the When in Need Foundation, which I currently work for, is an organization that was started by a Nigerian lady who decided to give back to community. You know, she went through a lot of hardship, and eventually things turned around, and she started her own business and was able to make some money, and now she's trying to give back. So When in Need Foundation is to support people that are in need, the poor, the disenfranchised, in communities, remote communities in Africa, especially in Nigeria, where we come from.
Wonderful.
And this organization has been in existence for about 6 years now. And what we do, we travel and provide medical care to villages, especially in the areas of trying to combat malaria. As you may know, malaria kills about 300,000 a year in Nigeria. These are children, these are mostly frail adults, these are the elderly. So it's really quite an experience being part of the When in Need Foundation.
Yeah, I thank you all very much for what you do. But before we go any further, I just wanted you to clarify exactly where you come from in Nigeria, so that our audience will know exactly where we're talking about in Nigeria. I know you go all over, but tell us where you come from in Nigeria.
Okay, in Nigeria, I hail from Anambra State.
Okay.
Anambra State is in the eastern part of Nigeria.
Yes.
Nigeria, of course, is in West Africa.
Right.
Sub-Saharan Africa, but I was actually born in Jos.
Okay.
And Jos, the capital of Plateau State.
Yeah, one of the states in Nigeria.
Before the Civil War.
Right.
And then, by extension, I also grew up and worked in Maiduguri. Maiduguri is just about the epicenter of where the Chibok girls were kidnapped. a lot of you already know about the Chibok girls and
what a sad story.
Right.
Hopefully that will never happen again in Nigeria, and we'll finally get the last few. So now, When in Need goes to Nigeria, before they go, how do they prepare for these wonderful, this spectacular trip? Because I know it's not easy. How do you get your funding? How do you prepare? How could people help you at the end of the day?
Yeah, it's quite a very extensive process. But, to the way we do, we have Win Nigeria. These are members of the When in Need Foundation.
Okay.
But they live and based in Nigeria.
Okay.
So what we do, we kind of work in jointly with them. For instance, they will, in the mission that we are planning to embark next month in Ondo State, Nasarawa States.
Yeah.
They will go to those states, do some need assessment. In other words, what are the needs in those communities? Is it high blood pressure, diabetes? What kind of health issues that are prevalent? So they will make documentations, and by then build some kind of relationship with stakeholders in those communities. And at the same time, report to us here in the United States, these are the findings, these are the needs, and then we will take it up and do some kind of joint analysis as to resources. And sometimes we've gone to the extent of trying to find partnership, like medical doctors, hospitals, civic organizations that would like to partner with us. And we've done also some kind of funding or events to raise a little bit of money so that we're able to buy some of the things that we need. Because one of the challenges in the healthcare system in Nigeria is the fact that you go to hospitals, there are no medicine, no equipment, and things like that. So one of the challenges the When in Need Foundation wants to tackle is the effort to capacitate some of these hospitals. In other words, there are hospitals here in the United States that have used beds and different things that we can take over to Africa and use that to
sustain the situation.
Sustain the hospital. So
that is really a very, very thoughtful idea. I never even thought about that. That's very good, very well needed, and definitely well needed in Nigeria, because the healthcare system is the worst. But we are hoping that as we go along, people go from here back home to regionalize, rejuvenate the poor system and bring things along with them that will help our people, especially those who are really poor, because the rich ones seem to travel out abroad. But I tell them that there'll be a day you need an emergency and there's nothing there to help you. So that's where we really need the in-house, right there on the ground facilities. Also, I know that When in Need, the lady at the helm is a very, very busy lady, and she couldn't be here today. I wish she was here to talk more about it, but hopefully she'll be invited back, or she'll come back to tell us more about her passion. But I see that you're very much into it as well as she is. And I know that she would also, you may not be able to speak for her, but what is her legacy? What does she want to leave as she goes along with this foundation? What would she want to leave for future generations to look up to or to continue? Like you said, she's not here, but I believe I can speak somehow to an extent about what I've had her say. First of all, she has stated over and over again that the only thing that makes her happy is giving back, helping people in need. Because she herself has been there. She has been through domestic violence, and she's been homeless. And now that she has a little bit of resources from her savings and investment, she wants to really make a difference in the world, to impact lives. So I believe her legacy is just to do good, help by helping others, and by extension to remember there's someone that went from adversity to success and was able to impact on lives, or as many lives as possible. And I mean, you can imagine that we've been to as far away as Buenos Aires, Argentina. That was my next question. Do you go beyond Africa? What are you doing with it? Because I think when I went to your website, you had gone to other countries in the world, such as, you said,
Buenos Aires, Argentina. We've been to Madrid, Spain. We've been to Santiago, Chile.
Fantastic.
And you won't believe it, we've been to London, Paris, Milan.
Helping people.
You have homelessness in London, of all places, and in Paris, France.
But when you're in Paris, France, are you focused within the African community, or just people generally?
No. What we do is, because we believe that human beings are human beings. What the perimeter for us is need. Who has the need? For instance, we went to this shelter in France. We went there. We found out that we're all types of nationalities in one residence. You have Africans, you have Chinese, you have Americans, you have all kinds of Indians.
Wow.
So it was like a United Nations,
Yeah.
more or less. And
Yeah.
every one of them have
A need.
they were in desperate need. And so it was really great.
That's very commendable of the
for
organization,
us
of
to
the
have.
foundation. Very
Yeah.
commendable
Thank
that they
you.
go beyond Africa and into the other parts of the world to bring about some kind of,
Yeah,
completion
right.
of human beings
Right.
living in the world today. And that's what we need more of,
Yes,
people who are
definitely.
selfless, or who think about the next person, not just themselves.
Yes,
you know.
you know.
So I thank you all very much for what you do.
I appreciate
Now,
it.
going back to Dr. Onuorah, I know you've been politically interested in government here or in maybe in Africa.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
Well, fundamentally, growing up, I was raised in a family, a Catholic family, that religion teaches us love thy neighbor as thyself.
Amen.
And I grew up in a loving, caring family. And from there, I became an altar boy, doing those things that goes to validate the fact that we need to help one another.
Right.
From there, I became a member of the Boy Scouts of Nigeria, and there we learned how to give back, how to volunteer. That did not stop in Nigeria. So when I came to the United States, went to school, studied political science, and then one of my idols was the great Zeke of Africa, Zeke Nnamdi, Chief Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe.
One of the
And I was
leaders.
fortunate to also have met him personally, and this share my passion, for politics. That nothing will really make me happy than to see that Nigeria becomes a country where the love of country, where people can actually be able to live freely, because democracy is not just lip service. Democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And so that my passion is to finish my education and go back to the country to help bring about some changes. And that dream has not fizzled. I still believe, even though I'm here, it can happen here, but I still want to be part of the change that we need in Nigeria.
Oh,
So,
definitely.
however it comes,
Definitely,
I'm in touch with what is going on, conversant, and every now and then I'm able to lend my voice to conversations, and just trying to find ways we can make Nigeria a better country.
Yeah. Well, I hope it won't stop at lip service or discussions or conversations. I hope you will take the next step and you really make this concretely, firm on the ground, to make sure that people appreciate good governance and see good governance in their lifetime. Because I'm so sad to see that we have not achieved that yet. Even though we're supposedly the giant of Africa.
The giant of Africa.
And we still have a lot to offer.
I mean, for a country of 180 million people, so diverse, so blessed with abundance of natural resources and human resources, talent.
Exactly.
Yet we are still searching.
Yeah. I don't understand.
It breaks your heart. But
So
I know we'll get there.
Amen. So now with that being said, what would you like to see the youths, especially, because I really rely on them and I really look up to them for the next generation, especially in Africa, that they take the bull by the horns and do what our leaders are for. Previous leaders have not been able to do, like be firm, be strong, be passionate about their country. I've never seen that yet among our leaders. I mean, they're self-serving and not looking forward to serve their people, but to be served. And that's not what I think leadership is all about. So now, how would you encourage the youths, the young ones, the youngins today, to come into politics with your experience and with your passion, to make them be one and interested in the governing of Nigeria?
First of all, I think one of the things that is needed among the youth is for them to embrace patriotism.
Yes,
because you have to love your country to be able to want to change it. You have to have patriotism. You have to have the passion.
Yes,
and maybe principle. But then you need more role models, you know, because in Nigeria or some African countries, people are very selfish. Everything is to themselves.
Yeah, me,
they don't
me,
care
me.
about how to better the community. And things like that should change.
Yeah.
You know, so it will really be a type of civic education. It will take that. It will take a whole lot of things. The education, civic education. You have to love your country. You have to want to help, and then you have to know that, you know, America, for instance, we love America. America is built because of people coming together.
Yeah.
You know, coming together to bring about, you know, to help to develop the communities,
yes,
the state,
yes,
and their country.
Yes.
So why are we so obsessed with individual
gratification? Yeah, and
you
like,
just want to be rich.
Right.
You don't care if the road leading to your house is,
I know,
it's a mess.
It's a lake.
And you have driving a Rolls Royce, you know.
Yeah.
So there has to be
it is
a total commitment.
Yeah.
You know, I think I mentioned it last time. What John F. Kennedy said.
Yes.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Yes.
So we
and it
have
starts
to
from one person.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, one person. We have to do it.
We have to, and that brings me to this because I travel a lot, and one of my new favorite places is Dubai, and it just took one man's vision. One man's vision. He came to America, went to Singapore, went to some other places, and discovered that, you know, life could be so much better. And when you go to Dubai, you will find the old Dubai was really like a country village, you know. But this man has gone back and re-engineered, reinvented his country, that now everybody, including our Nigerians, want to go there, build and buy houses or whatever. Why can't we do that back home? You know, that's my question. And because they travel a lot, I know Nigerians travel a lot, they go to these wonderful places. I would imagine if I had the opportunities, and that's what I'm trying, leading this way, this passion of mine towards, is to go back home eventually and create a great, big, you know, community whereby everyone would want to come to Nigeria, not we going out there. You know?
Yes, it's true.
And I think with your Win Foundation, when in need, maybe as we help them health-wise, we might also educate them civically, you know, so that they begin to appreciate passion, patriotism, and love for their country.
Right.
You know, so
yeah, definitely.
That's a good inroad.
Yes, I've been to Dubai myself. It's one of the best countries.
A few years ago, less than our independence, since we gained our independence, they have been able to turn Dubai around. That the whole world wants to go there. And still doing more. They never stop.
And with our resources,
we can do the same.
Oil money and everything,
we can do the same.
Should be able to
and we have the more educated people, the number of people to do more, you know?
Yeah,
so I hope that we will be able to do that. Now, on a lighter note, what are your two African favorite foods? Or
favorite food? Of course, you know, I like my fufu.
Fufu. And what kind of soup goes that fufu that you like?
Oh my God, you know, I grew up in the village, so you can have the bitter leaf or nubu soup.
Nubu soup.
Or the egusi soup.
Okay, egusi soup is made with lemon. I mean melon. Sorry.
Melon seed or okra soup.
Okay.
You know.
Those are healthy. Healthy.
I don't discriminate when it comes to food. You know.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And I always ask my guests this because we are in Africa. So I eventually want everyone to know every part of Africa. And so we're Africans. So we want to, and even though we're Africans, we have not traveled the whole of Africa. So I will always ask them, maybe one of these days when I do get the resources, those people who have mentioned what countries they like to go to will all go down there and really appreciate and enjoy the place. So what two countries in Africa besides Nigeria, because I know you come from there, would you love to visit and why?
Wow. I think the two that really, that I would like to visit is Ghana and South Africa.
Okay, those are great places.
Number one, not just because of the proximity to Nigeria, but because, you know, Ghana has a lot of history behind Ghana.
Right.
Kwame Nkrumah.
Right.
And of course, they got their independence before Nigeria, but
Definitely.
the fact, you know, they are so welcoming, so Pan-Africanism, you know, that's the seed of Pan-Africanism.
Right.
So that's one of the countries, and I've got to know a few Ghanaians here in the United States too that I would really love to go and see how Ghana is, the country.
I hear it's wonderful now.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Right.
Not too long ago, too, they were in crisis.
I remember
and they
Ghana,
were all coming to Nigeria.
I remember Ghana must go.
And then, that was when Nigeria said, you must all go back. But
Right.
that was a good thing because they went back.
They went back
and
they created
great cities.
better
great cities,
city. Yeah.
Great country.
And then the second one will be South Africa.
Another beautiful place.
You have a great man that Mandela, Nelson Mandela,
yes.
of course.
What he went through.
He went
for
through.
their people's
and then
freedom.
The freedom and how the things are going over there. And they have also a large population of African immigrants, Nigerian especially.
Yeah.
So I really like to go to South Africa.
It's
South
a beautiful
Africa
country. I've been there, and
see
weather-wise, it's just awesome.
Wow.
Really nice. Another great place to live in Africa.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
So
that's
those are the
wonderful.
2 countries that I would like to.
So one of these days, we'll all go back there and have fun, meet with the people, have a show on Unveiling Africa.
Unveiling Africa. That would be great,
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful speaking with you, or talking, conversing with you. I always converse with my guests. I don't do an interview. So I thank you so much for coming again, and we will definitely like to have you back when you have more to share with us. Do not be a stranger. You're always welcome to Unveiling Africa.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I really appreciate the opportunity.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
And as always, we love to just bring you the very best of Africa. And so we bring out most talented people, accomplished personalities, and people who talk about promoting progressive Africa and also actually sharing out with the world. So I hope you will come back and watch Unveiling Africa. I'm your host, Christine Daka McHarry. As always, I welcome you to visit my social media handles. Chris Unveiling A for my Instagram, Unveiling Africa for my Facebook, and also my website, my new website, which I encourage you to all visit, unveilingourafrica.com. Ourafrica.com. You want to share your social handles with our audience, our
the
viewers?
When You Need Foundation is www.winfound.org, or you can reach us by phone 347-249-3500.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I know that I am who you make me. I'm grateful for letting me into your homes, and I continue to bring you the very best of Africa. Thank you, and see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you
So that was very good. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for coming back, and we hope that you will always continue to do what you plan to do and be successful at it, and come back and share that with us. Thank you so much.